agenda is public comments, and I see Fred Henry has signed up to make some public comments. Is Fred here?
We have the planning module for Lewis Peachy to be re-executed. I don't know if you want to do that under the public comments or later on in the agenda. It's per a letter the township received from Rob Everett at EDP in Williamsport.
What if you do it later, so
Yeah.
that way
Okay.
you take care of it?
Okay, I'll move to the next item, which is appointment of supervisor. Kathy Arnery had resigned at the last meeting, but in the meantime, she's found she's able to serve as supervisor. So could I have a motion to appoint Kathy Arnery as supervisor?
I will make that motion to
Okay,
appoint.
I'll second the motion. And motion carries. Next, we need to do another reorganization here and elect officers. I would nominate Kathy Henry as chairperson.
Who?
Arnie.
You said Henry.
Did I say that?
You did.
Okay, Kathy Arney. Still thinking about Henry, yeah, all right. And that motion was,
I will make that motion.
okay. I will second the motion. All in favor?
All right.
Aye, motion carries. Okay,
Thank you for having me back.
yes. Thanks for coming back.
Feels like just yesterday that you were.
Yeah. I know. Obstacles have been taken care of. Yeah. So then I guess we will move on to Jody Breaux. You have something you want to speak with?
Yeah, I'm the president of the Penn Valley Little League softball.
Jody, you want to come up here to the podium?
Podium?
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Never done one of these things before. We have always used the field back behind here, and when I called to reserve the gym, like 3 weeks ago, Pam had asked me, well, are you reserving the field or the gym? And I said, we have to reserve the field? Like, I never knew that, or I never knew we had to pay for that. I've been president for 3 years now, and the boys' baseball had always had it, basically, and we always had to fight for it, I guess, because we really do not have our own field. We have the Center Hall field, but that's on school grounds, so we run into issues there also. So last year, we met with the baseball guys, because we really hadn't been getting along the couple years before that. But Brandon took over, we had a meeting, and he said, we really don't think we need it, so if you guys take over paying the electric bill, then, you know, you guys can pretty much have the field all yourselves. We won't need it, we won't interfere, because it really doesn't do them any good because they can't have double tournaments, that kind of thing. And we were like, great, you know, concession, everything. Well, then COVID hit, we couldn't even use the field. So here we are now this year, and, you know, Brandon hasn't said any different. I'm assuming we're still, but I guess I need to know what exactly, if we're paying the electric bill and I have to pay to use the field, what do we get for paying for that field, I guess? I mean, we need more dirt on it. Is that something that you guys do? That we have that little field, I mean, we're getting bigger and bigger, and we're really running out of room, so the tiny field where the volleyball was put pretty much in our outfield that we use is in the road. So we're looking for some help from the township to get it back in order, I guess, for usage, because we really need it. So I guess I just need to know what is the guidelines, because I never knew that we were paying or had to pay for the usage of the field.
Doug, you can probably speak best to that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Pam, you said you had inquiries from more than one group. Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
did talk to Brandon Musser, and he said that they would probably, most likely, not have to use it a lot, but they would want to use it occasionally. And then there was another group.
Because we have open gyms on Sundays there, the traveling team from Diamond Sports would come over and do their tryouts there while we were having open gym and just stand around and wait till we were basically done, and use it then, so. I don't know how often that happens,
Is
but.
Diamond Sports the traveling team?
They came from the sports center, so I'm assuming
Okay,
it's,
okay.
it's part of it, because they can't really do the open practice like that, like they can't have tryouts over in a indoor facility, so they come over there and use it for tryouts. They were that day anyway, but they've been there a couple of times when we were there, so
So who would the primary user of the field be?
it would be us. We have no fields. I mean, we
Okay.
have the center hall and the majors, and the minis use that. We have 3 divisions, minis, majors, minors.
Yeah,
And the minis use that field as much as they can, but the majors use that field the most.
uh-huh,
And then minors, we need a place for them, because minis and minors play and practice on the same exact days. So before we get started, minis have to actually, they can't even use the center hall field because majors need it just during practice season.
uh-huh.
So they need to come down and use the wee little field because the minors need to be on the other field. So we're looking at usage 3-4 times a week.
Mhm.
So it's been a struggle because the girls don't have anything. We don't have any, no offense to the boys, but baseball has umpteen fields, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
They have a gazillion. Millheim, Center Hall, we got 4 up there. We just, I'm trying, as a president, I'm trying to grow this.
yes,
And I'm just running it. We had 55 girls register last spring, which is the most we've ever had.
yeah,
55 girls equals 5 teams.
uh-huh,
We've got 2.5 fields basically to work with.
okay.
So, this year we had 44 girls. So that's pretty good with COVID, I think, but I only see us, growing. That's my intent.
Yeah.
Because when I first started, we only had 30-some girls. So I guess I'm looking for help, or if we do have to pay, what do I get for that, I guess? And if we do have to pay for on that field, you know what I mean, usage of the field, I guess I don't feel like we should be paying the electric bill.
So what I'm hearing is that the girls would be using it primarily, and there were 2 other groups that would use it occasionally, is that what they told you? And they would schedule with the girls softball to use it, is that how it works?
No, that was always the problem. Diamond Sports does no scheduling, they just come and use it. The boys, the years prior when I first started, we had issues with them because we had our schedules. I'm a very organized person, I get things done.
Yeah,
We had our schedules done by before the end of March.
Yeah.
So we called them and said, hey, these are the dates we have, because I worked with the other 4 districts that we play against. Worked with them and said, hey, these are our games, these are the days we have. Well, they wouldn't budge, so I had to go back. They would not move off the field.
okay.
So we had issues.
Well, I think everybody who uses the field needs to schedule through the township. Does that sound right? So you know and I know who's going to be using the field and when they're going to be using it. And they should be able to turn in, you will be able to turn in a schedule, that's not an issue.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the other groups, I guess, that I'm concerned about. Now, about the field, in the past, we rented it for $100 a season.
Okay,
And I guess I was thinking that if we have 3 groups using it, would they each be willing to pay a third?
oh. I really, Diamond Sports really has nothing to do with it. I don't see them, do you know what I mean? Because it's very rare, even though it's been a couple times that we saw them there.
Yeah,
I think it's very rare that they use it. I don't know that for sure though,
They're
but
just utilizing a space.
pretty much.
If they know it's
Because
there,
it's there.
They're gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it got to the point too where we put the porta potties in,
okay,
and we now have lock and key because the boys would refuse to go half with us when they were using the field too. So
Yeah.
we got lock and key. Not paying for somebody else, sorry,
Yeah.
if you don't want to share. You're not having usage, so it's just how it is. But I wanna get along with them, and now that Brandon's in, it seems to be going better, but we didn't have any conflict because they basically didn't use it, well, nobody used the fields, but last year they weren't gonna use them at all. They were gonna try, so kinda surprises me that he said they might have to use them, so.
Well, as far as electricity, whoever's using it has to pay for that. They use that for concession stand,
Mhm.
from which they can get some money, and the township doesn't want to be on the meter.
Okay, so that's why the baseball,
Yeah,
because what happened is the baseball guys were always paying the bill, and then
yeah,
when they pretty much gave us the field, then we took over paying that.
yeah.
And we would love to have the concession, but obviously with COVID, we weren't able to do it last year, we're not gonna do it this year as a plan right now. I mean, even for the fall, that could change depending on what happens. But I don't have a problem paying the electric bill if we're gonna have usage of the concession, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a
yeah,
problem.
Yeah. Well, you have a question back here.
I probably shouldn't open my mouth with this, but I have a very, very, very deep interest in that ball field down there. Because back when it flooded and washed away, this was owned by Penn Valley School District. Penn Valley School District would not pay for anything to have it rebuilt. The community got around the Little League and Spring Mills. Community donations, not township money or school money. Community donations, monetary and equipment, rebuilt that field. That field was literally, had a stake pounded in the ground by my brother and I, where home plate used to be. We moved it off the road because it was a danger, because it was so close to Sinking Creek Road. Home plate is now where Pitcher's Mound used to be. That's how far we moved it. Pounded the stake in the ground and literally built that field from scratch
Wow.
with community donations, not township donations at all, all right? So I have a little bit of heartburn, and again, I don't have a horse in this race anymore, but my kids did both play ball on that field. If I have a little bit of heartburn with the township charging a Little League nonprofit organization to use that facility when it was built without taxpayer.
Well, the township does mow the outfield and around the field and take care of it.
I agree with that, but I'm
The,
sure that if you asked the
we
Little
had-
League girls, that they would mow it.
We had some help last year tying the chain together, it was separating at the joints, and nobody had taken care of that, so we went around and fixed that. We put that yellow pad around the top. That's a township pad. The bleachers are township bleachers. So just some background, I don't know, you two, Charles and Kathy?
Who maintains the actual field itself, like the infield?
The
We do.
infield's maintained
You do
by.
that, right?
We
by-
do that,
by the
yes.
users,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We, every game, they drag it, we lime it, we take care of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
But my point again was we need dirt there, so I guess I wanted to see if we were gonna get charged, is that something the township would do? Get us a load of dirt, or
To put around the ball field, not in the infield?
in the infield, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
so you want a special kind of soil, red?
It's called infield mix,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and a triaxle load of infield mix
yeah,
is, the last time that I was involved with it 15 years ago, was around $800 a triaxle.
oh, geez.
Wow.
And that field, I have been on that field recently, you're talking probably 2 to 3 triaxle loads of infield mix to get it back to playing where nobody can get hurt and wouldn't be any lawsuits against anybody.
That's what I was afraid of. The problem is with COVID, we're hurting. We couldn't have fundraisers, we're hurting for money. We still had to pay the insurance even though we didn't get to play. We didn't get refunded that much, it's over $1,000. So we're just really struggling. Granted, we're gonna have a season, we're gonna have fundraisers, but, I kinda, like you said, if we're gonna pay for it, I guess I just wanna know what you're willing to.
Well,
Have you talked to any local organizations for donation?
We do get donations. We had sent the letters out. We always send letters out at the beginning of the year asking for donations and stuff for our league. Due to COVID, we got very few. We did get some. Of course, we do it every year. So, we're hoping to get money in for that too. But the other thing we wanna do is we wanna restructure, because technically we are, as a tax ID for the IRS, as a nonprofit, we're under the boys. And I wanna get out from under that and have our own, and so, that's gonna cost us, well over $1,000 to do that too. So, we're just looking at a lot of issues, but, yeah, the field is becoming a concern with that, so,
Well, for now, why don't we go ahead and schedule these things? It seems to me we're gonna have to have more of a discussion about the field, putting infield topsoil in there.
It needs to be safe
Yes,
for these young
yes,
players.
yes,
Right.
and, I'm not sure how we're gonna do that, especially this year.
I know.
See, we talked about the, recreation money, now there's something,
Oh, I totally agree.
That's
Yeah.
definitely a,
yeah,
that
yes,
can be used for
that's the
that.
kind of thing we could do with it. So, if you get the, infield mix in there, and then you still have to spread it, you need people to spread it,
That, we would do that.
you would
Get
do that.
Volunteers,
to do that.
absolutely.
I'm sure parents would help with that,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes, because these fields haven't, I mean, even our center hall field, they haven't been touched in, a year and a half, because the last time we played was the fall of 19. So, we've got a lot of work to do to get them ready anyway, so.
What's the board's opinion of if they took care of the electric bill and we could try and help them with that soil?
Yeah, yeah.
I think,
I have no problem with the
This
electric bill.
year.
I think we need to do something.
I think we need
have-
an agreement though with the girls and the boys or whoever else is going to use this field, or they shouldn't use it, they shouldn't come in and crowd someone else out.
Right. Right. I mean, I
So
think
they
they,
need to
I
get
think
an
they should
agreement with
schedule.
that. That's,
Right.
How's it- how's
Do
it
you
been
work
done?
with Brandon to do scheduling?
No,
You would
we're
just-
completely separate,
Okay.
we
okay,
really are.
okay. So you would schedule when you want it?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a meeting with all the other districts this coming Sunday to do our schedules for games for the spring
And then
season.
you'll have,
And I will have it.
and you
Yeah.
can get a jump on that.
Yeah, I'm always, because I always have a parents' meeting the last Sunday of the month, and where I hand out everything, fundraise, everything, and answer questions, and that's when, I wanted to be, I wanna hand out their schedules for the game for the whole season.
Right.
So, I just like everybody to know what's going on, so that's why I always make sure I get a jump ahead. But, I mean, I've just never had luck being able to work with the boys, because their schedules are not done, as quickly as ours, so, that's all. So what you're saying is, if I get in, I can schedule, basically first come, first served schedule is what you're saying
yeah,
then?
give us a
Yeah.
schedule, yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So where do we go with the rest of it?
Yeah, cause I'd like to talk about that little
I think
field.
we need to nail
The
it
little
down.
field off to the.
Yeah, off to the right,
Like
like,
where the T-ballers.
yes,
usually play.
yes. We have a fence, you know what I mean, that we could install. We already have a fence that was supposed to be used at the Center Hall School. But, it's a very heavy fence, and in order to use it up at the Center Hall field, because it's on school ground, we had to put it up and take it down every single game, practice, or anything. Too heavy, nobody wants to mess with it. It's sat in our shed, and I was actually gonna try and sell it to somebody, because there's no point, it's just wasting away. And then I said, well, maybe if we could get something done with this little field, we could maybe use it there, or, just depending on what, if we could talk and have a meeting and work out and see what we could do, so. That field's always been, so, I'm not sure how much work it would take, to get it.
Let's go ahead and schedule it and investigate what it takes to get the infield mix, quickly.
Yeah.
And you continue to pay the
Mm-hmm,
electric bill,
yep,
and we'll let this develop, I guess.
Okay.
Should have an agreement with any group that wants to use it.
That's right.
I think for
And
now,
Pam will have your phone number and all your contact
Are they
information.
paying the
Electricity?
fee then?
oh,
Or no?
yeah, we'll continue to pay, but
No, but.
you're saying the $100 fee.
Yeah, are they to pay the $100 fee?
I don't
or
know,
no?
for now, I think we need to investigate that.
Right, I think so too. I agree
It's
with
paying
that.
for the
I think
electric for now.
Okay,
if you schedule it, we'll do the,
okay. And then Pam will let me know if we can have a separate and talk about the field, like what we could do with the little field or if anything and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff? Okay.
Dan?
Yeah,
I'm curious about, have you made appeals to, the community, the Berry Township, for donations? And if so, I don't personally recall getting one, but I may have.
No, what we do is we send out to all the businesses asking for donations, and, we basically, I mean, with the donations, some of them get returned because we don't have the right addresses and stuff, so it's kind of a hit or a miss. But that's, we consider our donations from the community. Now, we do get a few, like, I know State College Glass Company always donates to us, so few out of the area, but we mainly just target all the businesses in the Penns Valley area for donations. And we put in our letters, it's for field maintenance. I mean, we constantly say we need field maintenance for, it's the upkeep of the fields and equipment and stuff like that. I mean, of course, that's where our money goes to.
I guess I'm wondering, just thinking about community awareness of your needs.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, of course. It's just becoming a problem, you know what I mean? Just like you said, the field's really starting to wear. We're worried, about the girls' safety, the ankles, that kind of thing. So, especially not being on it last year, now it's really, so we're just now starting to try and get help and see what kind of help we can get, so,
Well, I think that's what we should do then.
okay.
yeah.
You go ahead and schedule it, get your scheduling to
Yep.
Pam.
Okay,
We'll have the contact information for you.
okay.
And we'll, yes,
I
Dan?
guess I'm sorry to.
No, please.
I'm wondering maybe the township could solicit donations, for this purpose. I don't know if that's legal or what the ramifications might be, but, you have a place to donate as a central hub.
Yeah, I don't think it's illegal per se, but I would nonetheless caution you against endorsing one
Exactly,
group
yeah.
over another.
Too many
Yeah.
groups that, yeah. Due to COVID, the Williamsport Little League, they are doing a thing that's called Lift Your League. And we are participating in that. It's just a matter of getting the word out, but they're gonna run international, and everything news about helping the local Little Leagues due to COVID, because we're in such dire need. So we are gonna do that. It's called Lift Your League, but, that's just through text and social media, that kind of thing, but not real high level. So we're trying to do everything. I looked into grants and all kinds of stuff, but in order to get grants, you need to have basically your own field, and what they use the money for is like lighting or after-school programs specifically for softball, or signs, bleachers, anything to update, to put in a field, basically, that kind of
To
stuff.
establish it.
Nothing to help me say, due to COVID, we have no money,
Right.
they don't do that, so. And there's very few some of them are very specific about what they help with. So I've been trying to do all kinds, I have looked into that, of trying to do all that I can.
You've done your homework.
So, yeah, so I'll just wait then, to hear from Pam,
Yes,
and we'll go from there.
I think.
Yeah.
sounds
Okay,
very
thank
good.
you. Thank you very much for your time,
Thank
yeah.
you very
Thanks,
much,
Jody.
Judy.
Hey, I want to ask this gentleman back here where he ordered the infield mix from.
It's from Duncansville. I can get Pam the phone number.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks, Darren.
Okay.
What they'll do is you'll need to put a tarp down. They won't go into the field because it's a drive, so they'll make a rush. Put a tarp down where the parking lot is, you'll dump the load there, spread it out. We need a second load again with the tarp. And that way, because it's very expensive, it's not going into the parking lot itself. It can be mostly collected by the tarp.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, you wheelbarrow onto the field.
Onto the field, manage it. Good, you let Pam know that, and we'll have, thank you much.
Why don't you take care of it, Henry?
We can do the Henrys? Sure.
We're not really
You'd like-
signing anything.
Pardon me?
We're not signing anything, the way I talked to Darren, Chris today,
Chris Coon, yeah.
and, we're not signing anything.
You're Kathy Henry?
Yes,
Okay,
I
thank you.
am.
Yes.
Okay, Township received a letter dated March 5th from Dan Befford at DEP in Williamsport.
indicating that the resolution needed to be re-executed by the township. Here is a copy of the module, if anyone would like to see it.
What was the reason for needing to re-execute? Sorry.
The reason to re-execute was no soil testing has been done on the Lewis Peachy property within Gregg Township. The resolution page, which is right after the transmittal page, indicated other. No sewage disposal proposed within Gregg Township. What DEP in Williamsport is requesting that the block individual on-lot systems be checked.
Okay.
Pardon me?
We had this conversation today with Larry and Thomas.
Yes.
We had talked to Rob Everett on the phone, and Rob had actually told Laren that he needed to write the letter. And I had Chris, Laren, Kathy, myself together today to make sure that we were doing the correct thing. Because this has been a little crazy with this one. I'll soon be a pro at these. But they said to make sure that he wrote the letter before we did anything else. And at the time today, he was not able to write that letter.
Okay, I know that Laren talked to Rob right after this letter on March 5th
Yes.
came out, and Laren was well aware that he needed to prepare a letter, indicating, I think, no soil testing or perks were completed within Gregg Township. And I was under the impression from Rob Everett at DEP in Williamsport that that letter was going to be at the meeting tonight.
No.
He hadn't prepared it today. He said
No.
he would work on that tomorrow. Is
Yeah.
what he said when the four of us were on the phone call, conference call. He said that he would have it prepared for tomorrow morning.
So you're unable to re-execute the resolution page tonight?
Until we have that letter from Larry.
From Lara.
He's our SEO. So we cannot
That
do
was our
anything.
understanding today.
Yeah, that's how we took that.
Did Rob state that?
Yes.
Rob was on the conference call today too?
No.
No,
No.
no. Chris Coons, our planning commission chair, Laren, Kathy, and myself. They said that we had to wait for Laren to, he'd come in and went through all of our records just to make sure that there was nothing done. So he said, I asked him today if he was gonna have a letter, and he said not today. He was hoping to get that tomorrow.
So, had he written a letter before?
No,
No, I don't think
because
so.
no soil testing was completed within Gregg Township. So there was no reason for him to sign the planning module.
Right, right.
Is he
Yeah.
doing soil testing now?
No.
So what is the letter?
He just needs to identify that there was no soil testing done on Gregg Township. Correct? Is that right, Pam?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he had to identify.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to,
Okay, can you make a motion that you get that letter tomorrow, then we'll need to run back down here to get everything re-executed and sealed.
that's what I was about.
We can do that, can't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
could
mean, I
conditionally
would do a motion.
approve this based on receipt of the letter from Laren.
Right.
Yes.
I'll make that
You
motion.
make that
I
one?
will second
Now,
it.
Well, let them know.
Yes, yes, okay.
I want that letter no later than Monday.
Okay, let's let them finish the motion first, and then we can talk about that if that's okay.
Yeah, the motion is that we conditionally approve this planning module upon receipt of the letter from the sewage enforcement officer, Laren Warren. And
Okay.
hopefully that's tomorrow, but that's the motion. I'll
second that motion. We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
I'm disappointed disappointed that Laren told Rob Everett at DEP in Williamsport that that letter would be at the meeting tonight. He was well aware that we needed this.
We were not aware of that.
No,
We're
no,
not.
I
No.
didn't know anything about
You may want to pass that information on to Rob.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely will.
If you would, please.
Because Kathy, if I would have known that, I would have told you. I did not know that.
I'd like to have my module
Oh,
passed.
absolutely.
Sure. So as soon as I have that in hand tomorrow, I will call you right away so we can get that taken care of.
I won't be able to come down until Monday, or Fred come down Monday,
Absolutely. Whenever it's convenient for you.
because I have 2 meetings tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
You will have it for Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely want it Monday.
Okay, well, I'll get.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will get in touch with Larry tonight.
We'll make that phone call right after the meeting.
Yeah, we need to. Next on the agenda, solicitor's report.
It's been a pretty quiet month. The only thing that's on my radar is Pam handed me the fully executed cable agreement.
Did that just come in?
Yes, today.
Okay.
We also have, to tell you.
Finding out. It's a report for you or me?
For you. Yeah, a little bit. We have a telephone conference with Michelle and Daleen
Okay,
from the Right to Know
The right to, that's tomorrow at 10.
tomorrow at 10
okay. For,
for that. For the ones that she asked about for the auditor's minutes.
okay. Was this from a while ago or?
Yes.
Okay.
For, what was it for?
Auditor's
Auditor's
minutes.
minutes?
Oh,
Is it a mediation?
Mhm.
Okay, so there's a mediation with the Office of Open Records
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Yeah,
Okay,
on the phone.
okay. Well, what time?
10 o'clock.
Okay, we can chat about it.
Okay. Emergency management? Coordinator?
He's on his way back in.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I have is for April 17th, the spring fling. You want to close the stop sign?
Oh, that's,
It is. You got to call PennDOT to get the road closed.
Okay, yes, yes.
And we're going to close it from the stop sign to Sink Creek Road. I talked to Skip Hockenberry, he's fire police chief, captain, about having a couple fire police to help direct traffic. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Greg Township Fire Company.
Darren Buss, our Great Township Fire Company. We ran one call for the month of February, so everybody in the coverage area was safe, so thank you. Our bingo is going to be the 19th, March 19th, and it's going to be here at Old Greg School again. We have a bingo machine, so we're good to go for that. We're also doing a sandwich sale, a ham and cheese and turkey and cheese sandwich sale. Delivery date's the 29th of March.
March 29th?
March 29th, yes. And that's a double fundraiser because we go through Cobalt Church up in Georges Valley. They make them for us, they make some money off of it, and then we sell them and we make some money off of it. So it's a double fundraiser, so it's a good effort. Easter egg hunt is April 3rd up at the carnival grounds. Thank you, Pam, for all your donations.
oh, it's a community event. Everybody's donating.
Okay, so thank you, community, for the community event. The spring fling that you're having over here that Jim just mentioned, is there room for the fire company to bring a fire truck over, build a small model house, set it up outside, have the kids or whoever wants to squirt a hose through a window and make a flag go up or something. We're gonna do something.
Absolutely,
We'll make room for that.
absolutely.
Something, even, we could even set it on the street since the street's gonna be closed out there.
That's true too.
So,
That'd be good use.
Yep.
you guys would be good with that if we?
Certainly.
we're gonna do that? Okay, thank you. And again, as always, thank you to the supervisors in the township for everything you do for that.
You're very welcome.
I'm gonna get out of here, I have another commitment, but Pam, if you need anything.
I'll give a holler.
Okay.
Thank you.
Karen. Albright School Advisory Board?
As I said before, the April 17th is the spring fling. We're sending out contracts. The OGS will be selling our OGS cookbooks, bean soup by the quart. We also have picnic tables at the ball field in the pavilion that we're trying to sell. It's a $150 donation, and on them tables will be a brass plaque of who donated it. So if anybody wants to buy a picnic table, see Pam.
How many do you have up there to,
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Plant managers report.
I'm waiting parts for a fuel monitor, which has a bad sensor. Sensor's been ordered, and Pam knows the gentleman who ordered it, and it'll be here soon. I added 2,000 gallons of fuel to the tank today just to make sure we don't run out. Jim Smith here repaired some rusted metal next to the door into the kitchen pantry. There's rust taking place out there, and that was nice. It was a nice job. I went out and looked at it. It looks very nice. Thanks for doing that.
Thank you, yes,
Yeah.
that was bad.
Let's see, also, we found some broken windows on the south side of the school, just off the gym. So, 2 of those broken windows, I think, were caused by some children playing under there, and their mother actually called and offered to fix it, so I thought that was nice. There are some more broken windows there. There are 4 altogether. I'm not sure how the others got broken, but we may just fix all those at once when the time comes to fix them. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Emergency medical services. Charles?
The Ambulance Association is doing much better now than it had 3 years ago. Just for an idea, last evening, they had mentioned they had got a $10,000 donation. The people that donated or person wanted to be anonymous. And they also got almost $11,000 from an estate. And they tell me that in the next 2 to 3 months, there's another estate, but nobody knows what the numbers would be. So yeah, the ambulance is doing much better than it had at this point.
So it really paid to talk about it, didn't it? Yeah.
So they had a 10,000 donation, and what was the one from the estate?
Almost 11.
Wow.
And if anybody's ever interested, there's always a book that all the minutes from the ambulance meetings I bring back. Pam has in a folder, so anybody that would like to look at them can.
I'm really glad to hear us turning around.
I think a lot of it we have to give thanks to Cindy Ross. I mean, I think she's the big drive behind most of it. But there's other ones as well, but I think Cindy's the biggest one. That's all.
Spearheading a lot of that.
Yeah, and she spends an awful lot of time and gets no return technically, so. That's all I have.
Give her our thanks when we see her.
Can you hold on for a second?
Sure.